And we're back here at GOMTV.net. We've already done 2 of our best of 3s today. Really kind of surprising results, I guess you could say, here with Bomber against Flash. And again, it's not that Bomber's bad or anything like that. Flash is so good. He's so...
Well, you know what? There are still kinks in his armor, man. Normally ends up getting eliminated by someone like Innovation or specifically Parting. But this season, it looks like, Innovation once again. But Bomber stepped up to the plate and made a big splash.
He did. And again, what makes it even weirder is that Bomber expected the new patch to be out today, so Terran was going to operate in a different way, so he had prepared for the new Terran, what he had theorized to be the best way to take on somebody like Flash, and then the patch didn't come out today, so he just kind of hammered together a few strats and then put him out and actually won 2-0, so kind of surprising.
Really fantastic play by him.
Yeah.
Well, our next match, Tasteless, is going to be hyvaa against Fantasy.
Yes.
And, I give this so heavily to Fantasy. I really do.
Fantasy also, one of these guys up there with Flash, I'd probably say like the 5th or 6th best StarCraft 1 player.
Yeah.
This guy is a genius. His builds are so good. He was actually coached by Slayer's Boxer in StarCraft 1.
His harassment is second to none. His multitasking, absolutely fantastic. His micro, off the charts. Just a very smart player as well. So definitely a hard guy to play against. And a lot of people are already saying that he is one of the very best in the whole world as far as Terran goes.
Well, he's up against hyvaa. Now, hyvaa's really good, but
he's no first.
Basically.
First made Fantasy look like a scrub on the ladder, man.
Yeah,
but,
it did.
I don't know.
That was like a grandmaster versus a master player on the ladder.
It was worse than that, I would say.
So it's going to be interesting. I don't know what hyvaa's going to have prepared coming into this.
Well, hyvaa normally very aggressive. He did show some macro games recently. More macro-ish, I guess, is the way to put it.
Is that the way to put it, more macro-ish?
More macro-ish, I'm pretty sure is the technical term.
Yeah,
and, well, it's ZVT, so he always can mix in a lot of cheeses if he wants. He can do roach timings. He can do roach baneling. All-ins. Of course, he could go and play a standard game, but a lot of standard games nowadays have roaches in them anyways.
That's very true. So hyvaa going into this, definitely the underdog. Similar to the Flash narrative, this is one of these players that we have who it was so good in StarCraft 1, but we haven't seen become the best of the best of the best in StarCraft 2 yet. So it's going to be interesting over this entire year actually to see where these guys end up.
Well, I think that Fantasy will end up near the top, and I think hyvaa is going to end up somewhere very high, but maybe not exactly top 32. Maybe one of these guys kind of like Keen that bounces in between.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Here's a closer look at Fantasy. Now, you guys also have to remember, Fantasy and a lot of these other StarCraft 1 pros did not switch over right away in StarCraft 2. So they've been playing StarCraft 2 for much less time. So that's another thing to factor in with this.
But, they basically made their official full switch at Heart of the Storm. It was a good idea. Kind of level the playing field a little bit. There's a lot of new strategies.
Yep.
The game definitely changed quite a bit. But you can really see that they're really great practice regimens. They're basically just their household environments have helped them to catch up and surpass, in many ways, the other pro gamers in the world.
That's absolutely true. Now here's hyvaa. He is the underdog going into this. But hyvaa's pretty sneaky. He can definitely eke out a win here.
Yeah. Yeah, he is someone that can cause a lot of upsets right now.
And you want to watch out for players like this in these groups because he can end up sneaking his way out of there. The fact that we've already seen Bomber beat Flash means you should expect anything to happen today. So
absolutely anything can happen today, that is for sure.
Yeah. Now, again, there's a lot on the line here. We're getting closer and closer to the end of these groups. We're getting very close to the round of 8. And that's when it really starts to heat up.
Yeah.
So a lot of pressure today to perform.
Well, this is a very important match for hyvaa to win here. He did lose to Rain already. If he goes down 0-2, of course it's important as well for Fantasy. But with Fantasy, Rain admitted that he kind of always loses to him.
Yeah, that is true.
I would say there's a better chance for Fantasy losing here of still getting into that 3-way tie and getting out of the group.
Yeah.
than there is for Hyvaa. So I feel like today is like the super must-win for Hyvaa.
Now the map we're going to be playing on is Newkirk Precinct. This is a map that is very, it can be cut in half very, very easily.
Yeah. You know, it's not as important it's important in ZVT, but I would say more so for the Terran side.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, you look at some of these other matchups, ZVP specifically, that's going to probably favor Zerg in the very long run.
Sure.
So, you know, it's a very droppable map as well. A lot of open space in the middle.
Yeah, that big empty spot at the bottom.
That's good for fantasy.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. Here's the stats that we have gotten together from our Korean journalists, where they see these guys ranking. Can't really disagree with much of the stuff here. I like the fact that he's at an 82 for cheese there, Hyvaa is. Not a shocker there.
Yeah.
And again, this is a piggyback broadcast. We are covering the on-game at StarLeague, WCS Korea.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you rode your dad piggyback style. He decides where you go,
and that's
you just kind of hold on, and you have a lot of fun.
If we had it our way, we would have started the game, but it hasn't started yet, so we have to wait. That's also why you're noticing that we're on stage here instead of up in our little crow's nest that we normally cast from, and why you're seeing a lot of these shots you wouldn't normally see. So,
well, they're nice shots.
They're nice shots, aren't they? Yes, they are. So we do have both players in the game. Hyvaa and Fantasy, and I believe we're going to be starting this pretty soon. We do have the preview PC back up, by the way.
Yeah.
So, thank God.
Yes, that is so
That's
much
a broadcast, and we don't have that thing up. So
hard to figure out exactly what's going on.
I'm going Fantasy 2-0. What about you?
Yeah, 2-0 Fantasy is my guess as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Hyvaa took a game, but I would be surprised if he took 2.
Yeah.
Like, I can see him squeezing out some sort of all-in to win, or Fantasy really messing up badly one time, maybe.
Yeah.
But Fantasy is like the guy that he's like almost like a Marine King. Like, he won't leave. He'll stay in the game. He'll try his hardest and try to kill you the whole time. And someone like that's going to be very difficult to kill, even if you all in and it's semi-successful.
That's very true. I don't know if there's been a delay or what, because we're still hanging out, but we do have everybody, it looks like, in the game.
Pros have said to go, so hopefully we'll get going pretty quick.
Yeah, hopefully. How are you doing today, Artosis?
I'm doing really well. I've quite enjoyed the series so far. Really fun stuff from Bomber.
That upset with Bomber was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting when that happens, especially when you know the background that he wasn't. He was completely not prepared for what's happening today. That's a lot of fun.
Well,
okay. Well, we know what this camera shot means, Artosis.
I think it means that it's just about time to start.
I think you're right. All right, so head-to-head here. We're going to have Hyvaa up against Fantasy as we are deep right now in the round of 16 group phase. See who's going to be moving on to the round of 8. I'm Tasteless, with me as Artosis. We're here in Seoul, Korea, where the best esports players in the world reside. Bring you the best Starcraft 2 action you could ever ask for here at GOMTV.net.
Wait till you see this, Tasteless.
Huh? Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll have something to talk about in a second. And at the bottom right, we have our Terran legend. He is
Master SK Telecom T1 Fantasy.
I'm really excited about this next shot here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. The guy with 6 drones making a pull. He is.
New challenger, STXO hyvaa.
Interesting choice. Could work. Might work, might not work. There's like a lot of factors here. What does Fantasy go for a barracks? Does he like go for some sort of proxy? Does he go command center first? Does he wall in? There's a lot of questions. If he walls in completely, do the SCVs jump to the outside like it's StarCraft 1 and all try to die when he's hitting the wall?
Well, you know, we haven't actually casted a game like this in a while. What's it going to be?
Not many people 6-pool.
It's going to be a barracks, it looks like.
Yeah.
Not command center first.
If Fantasy, you know, does this... Ooh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Looks like he's going to slow down the building of this barracks.
Well, let me tell you something. When he sees the 3 drones get there, there's not going to be any mystery as to what's happening.
No. It's not a bad rally point.
He's not going to be like, well, that was pretty weird.
Maybe he was going to...
drones. What was that? Is that a mistake? Was it a bad rally? He got too close and decided just to attack anyways?
Maybe he was trying to steal both my gases and scout with one of them.
Yeah, it's not going to be that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he leads with 1. Just a little bit of a scout. He wants to have information before he commits. He's going to block the wall-in from occurring. He's watching for any SCV to come up. Trust you, man.
All right, the other two.
Well, here we go, Tasteless.
Here we go. Okay, the wall's not up.
All
oh,
right.
noes.
Good luck to scared Terrans. This is, oh, that was the right move right there. A perfect surround. So well done. I'm actually... Wow.
Is this how you handle this now?
Yeah, well, it looks like this rush is already basically over. Fantasy is definitely holding this.
He's making Hive look like a clown right now.
Yeah,
he actually
he
put
is.
this right at the ramp so the Lings couldn't
Well,
surround him.
Look, Hiva already had
Well,
the big clown shoes on.
That's embarrassing.
Hiva Tasteless already had the big clown shoes on.
What?
Fantasy just pointed out
What
his red
tournament is
nose.
this? What are we casting? Sorry, hold on.
That's, you know, people don't normally 6-pool.
Okay. I really want to see Hive's face now.
Yeah, they
This
should
is
actually show
pie
it.
in the face right here.
Fantasy's
This is actually so funny.
right now, Fantasy's thinking, wow, I hope you don't think that was ever going to work.
All right, give me a shot of Hiva. I really want to see this. No, we're not getting that.
Not going to give it to you. It's just too embarrassing.
When I go to Hiva's booth and he's like, no! Banging the keyboard. Well, Fantasy has got to be like, well, I guess I'm getting out of this best of three
I think
ahead.
if we went to Hiva's booth right now, he like has an abacus on the desk. He's like moving the beads around on trying to. He's like, oh, why didn't that work? He moves a bunch. He's like, I see. Okay, I know how to kill him this next game. It's like,
well,
no,
you
you
know,
don't,
it's funny,
Hiva.
because I'm not used to seeing the 3 drones get pulled.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's like a new rush. That's pretty cool. And then like the drones block. And then here's
the thing.
like, what? Just like grabs all his SCVs and like chases him out and then kills him. And then he keeps the SCVs at the ramp so the Zerglings can't optimize damage.
If it was Command Center first, he might break him and win.
I want to go
Probably breaks
inside
him and
of
wins.
Hiva's brain right now. I want to hear like the internal dialogue that's going on. He's like, as the last Ling is killed, he's like, oh no, I'm on TV right now. I really want to know actually what happened. Like, this is happening.
Yeah. Well, that was like the most insane coin flip build I think that we're likely to see in this tournament.
Yeah. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you see something like that, you're like, oh, okay, well, clearly this is practiced, tested. The coach knows he's going to do it.
You know, here's the thing. It was cute that he used 3 drones to make sure that the barracks, the depot couldn't go
What's
down.
so funny is it looks so much fancier, and then you're like, I'm like, how do you stop this? Like, we just send your SCVs there and drive the drones out.
Yeah.
And then you win.
And it's like it
Then
was a
step
good
2 is
move
you
from
win.
Fantasy to like drill the SCVs and just surround and kill the drones immediately, but it was not rocket scientists. This was not some genius move that someone
What's funny
in
is like,
Diamond
who did he
figure
practice that strat
Yeah.
against?
Well, I don't know, man. He probably just did on the ladder. I think yeah. That's something you just go to the ladder to practice. You don't need a Terran to. If I was a lesser pro gamer on his team and they were asking me to sit there and have that happen
damn
to me
it,
all
man!
day,
I need to practice and get good.
Yeah.
He's like, no, hold on, I'm just going to 6-play you one more time.
it's like, this is why you're in charge of me. This is why I'm on the B team, because you make me sit here.
You are wasting my time.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my.
That is so funny. Okay, Hive is not in the game yet.
He's probably watching the replay.
So what happened back there?
Oh.
And then he sees that when the SVs got pulled, he's like, ooh, yeah, that's where I went wrong.
Yeah.
What's weird about it is that
this part too, where he had a Marine behind the SCVs and the Zerglings just sat there.
and then he goes back to his base and he's like, oh, I only have 3 drones.
Yeah.
That's another reason my economy was not good. What's funny about it is you'd think that he would have had it timed out so that when the SCVs get pulled, to stop the depot from to make sure the depot can be made, that's when the Lings would get there and it would be synced up perfectly. But it actually wasn't.
He has to bring the drones up first because the second depot might just get made.
I know. But the point I'm trying to make is like there's nothing about that build that.
Well, I think
like,
it was
makes
actually
sense to me.
I'm pretty sure it was designed specifically to kill a command center first, because any blocks where the barracks get placed, the barracks gets placed elsewhere. There's no full wall, and you have only SCVs to battle. So as long as he micros okay,
the only thing that could have made that game even worse is if he scouts him and he just leaves the game. He's like, "You didn't go command center first. I'm done."
That would have actually. You're right. He would have gotten in trouble with his coach, though.
This is called Starcraft roulette here.
Yeah.
So, look, okay, good. Hive is in the game now. That's going to be whirlwind.
You know what would have made it even funnier?
You know what's funny?
Is if after he lost the 3 drones and all the lings, if we went back to his base, he's making another drone.
I know
he's like making one drone and 2 lings.
I know he lost mining time when he pulled the SCVs. I'm like, no, Iva, you were so behind.
I'm pretty sure I killed 2 SCVs there. Pretty sure. His orbital probably isn't done yet. He probably skipped the orbital because he was
I got some more time before he starts landing mules. Now, this is the map Whirlwind. Now, what's funny about this is probably a better map to actually do the strat on. The one that we just saw.
It might be, yeah.
Because Terrans are more likely to go command center first because you're so far away from your opponent.
Well, I think if I'm fantasy right now, I'm probably going barracks at the wall no matter what my plans were.
Oh, no. I'm on TV. It's so funny. All right. Well, we're still waiting for this game to get started.
Yeah.
But when it's ready, we'll be casting it for you. Because that's how we roll.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I think this is going to be a 2-0, though. Even though this is a Zerg map, it is so embarrassing and traumatizing to try a strat like that and it fails on TV.
Yes.
I can't imagine what Hive is feeling right now.
Embarrassed and traumatized, most likely.
Yes.
He's like, that is not my finest
This
moment.
is how you get, like, nerd PTSD, man. Like,
yeah.
So, okay, great. Countdown's now started. So let's get ready. By the way, guys, get out there. Tell your friends. Post on Twitter or whatever social networking service you use. Link them to us at Twitch here. Or tell them to come to GOMTV.net. Because a lot of people don't know that we're actually covering these games. So spread the word. Do the right thing. And it looks like this game's now lit up. So we're going to get this going for you guys. Again, it's going to have to be a situation where Hype has to come back 2-0. Or